Hi, everyone. I got an email from Waves today. I don't know if you know who Waves are. They're the third-party plugin producer company, and all of their plugins were 29 bucks. So I'll leave a referral link to Waves in the description if you want to check it out. But there was one that I had my eye on since NAMM of last year. It's the Paul Reed Smith Supermodel, his amp emulations. So I just went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. And today we're going to take a look at the 3 amps that come with that package. It's called the PRS Supermodels on Wave's site. And I'll do a quick review of them, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so the Supermodels, PRS Supermodels is what they're calling them. It comes with 3 amp emulations. There's the Archon, there's the Dallas, and there's the V9. Fine looking interfaces for sure. Actually very easy to use also. So I have a confession to make. I spent this weekend watching Game of Thrones Season 7 to get ready for the new season. And so when I got into the studio this morning, I said, I better write a song because I was such a lazy bum all weekend. But when you write a song, I think you should write from what you know. So I used this model, and I just sort of high-passed it and then used just this amp emulation to make this following song. And don't worry, it's really quick, but I'm going to play it for you right now.
Lying down and watching TV. Lying down and watching TV. It's all I want to do today. So all I really gotta say is if you were hoping to find me, I'll be lying down and watching TV. Lying down and watching TV. Lying down and watching TV. Lying down and watching TV.
So that was my song, Lying Down and Watching TV. I hope you enjoyed it. And that was using the Archon, and I believe that the Archon might be, and it might just be because I just got it today, but it's one of my favorite amp emulations I've ever used. And let's get into it. I'll show you why. Let's turn this on. The clean channel is acceptable, and sometimes that's all you really want. And I'm going to go over everything using the Archon just because the Dallas and the V9 are very similar. So each one has a boost, and if you click on this, you can actually add gain to the boost, so you can get a little bit more of an overdriven clean. And then there's these like tone stack things. Which sort of give you a little different look as well. And then, but the real powerhouse of the Archon is this lead channel. It sounds great for leads. It sounds great for rhythm parts too. You know, it's nice and chunky. So the Archon was really easy to use for this song because of I was using distorted, but you could do the switchy thing too. And so you have this, and if you notice the master volume, it's actually per channel. So if you wanted the lead to be super loud, or the clean to be... What you set it to, it remembers by channel. And I'm just triggering it with my foot pedal down below. And it does take MIDI input, so I mean, if you have a foot pedal or something that you want to use, you just set up a MIDI track, and then you can learn whatever parameter you want, and it'll handle it. So So yeah, you have 2 channels on this amp, and then you have this bias control for the boost, or this gain control. And then in the tone stack here, each of the amps has bias, speed, and sag, and that'll give you tonal differences as well. The Archon obviously has a 3-band EQ and a bright switch. Simple, and I like simple because once there's too many parameters, I don't know, it sort of takes the joy out of playing. And so we're going to get down here. There's a built-in tuner, obviously, and there's some air level on the speakers. The gate actually works pretty well, so let's use a single coil or something. So yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine, perfectly functional gate. But this is what I like about all these plugins is the cabinet loader. It comes with 8 IRs, and you can mix and match them. So you can see what they are here. This is the G65 4x12 on axis, a G65 4x12 off axis, and I'm blending them. So you could blend it. And have the volume output. But you can run through, and the cool thing I like about this is, let's turn this off, this on. You can preview all of these IRs by hitting this play button, and it'll play for 2.5 seconds. And that's where we started. So I like that. I like that you can have 2 cabinets, and it does a phase fix, whatever. It's pretty smart about all this stuff. I don't know what the smart mix or phase fix does, but if you want to use your own impulse responses, I think you just click on here, and you can open them from any file or directory on your computer. So I mean, you could theoretically use this. You could just turn off the amp and use this as an impulse response loader if you felt like it. So that's always an option. So the Archon, I liked it. I like the heavy tones on this. It's got great heavy tones. Of course, a lot of amp emulations shine at heavy tones and are less effective at clean tones. So, I mean, it's tough to be the best if you're doing heavy tones, and I think that's where this excels. I mean, the clean channel's fine. It's fine, but the clean channels are actually better on the Dallas. So the Dallas, I think, is designed for cleans. Let's take this off here. This is what the Dallas sounds like straight out of the box. It's got a built-in reverb on this, you'll notice. And of course with the boost, some nice clean breakup. I think as far as clean amps go, this one sounds pretty awesome. My hammer-ling, hammer-ling, hammer-long. If you know what I mean, go ahead and sing along. My hammer-ling, my hammer-lam-along. Hammer-lam-a-ling, hammer-ling, hammer-long. If you know what I mean, go ahead and sing along. My hammer-ling, my hammer-lam-along. That's a little song called Ham-along. Of course, you have the same controls here. You can add gain to your boost channel. And I mean, I think this amp also sounds fantastic, and it handles cleans pretty darn well. So this may be my go-to in-the-box clean tone. Of course, this one also has a reverb, but with any of these, you could just put a reverb behind it in the signal chain here. And so I mean, the reverb's not important, but the reverb does sound good on the amp. So there's that. This one has a bright switch, same exact control, same exact cabinets. So that's exactly the same. And then the third one is the V9, I'm sorry. And I haven't played around with this one too much. This one seems like it's going to take more work, though. I think there's a lot of tones in this amp. It's just more confusing, if that makes any sense. So let's activate this one. You'll hear it's like... And then they have this gain stage here. So cool overdriven tones from this V9, not quite as heavy as the Archon, but very cool stuff, very interesting tones, and I think very usable tones. And I like the cabinets that come with it, the impulse responses. I guess they were from Paul Reed Smith's personal collection or something. But what I like about it is, like, I get cabinet packs and it's like 4 inches off cap, 4 inches off axis, you know, and there's just too many, and it's so hard to cycle through them. This makes it pretty easy to cycle through them, and there's just, you know, a fixed number of choices, and sometimes that's what you need. You need to spend less time tweaking and more time playing. And these amps, the cool thing about them is, you know, I've had them for a couple hours now. All I did was just record this song and then sort of play around with some of the tones so I could speak to it with some degree of foreknowledge on this video. But they all have usable tones straight out of the box. So you're not really doing all that much tweaking to get something usable out of them. So as far as I'm concerned, the Paul Reed Smith super models, the Archon, the Dallas, and the V9, let's pull them all up. Let's get a shot of those, huh? Okay, yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, the Archon, the Dallas, and the V9, they're all fantastic sounding amp emulations. And that deal that's going on at Waves right now, the $29 for this plugin, totally worth it. I think these are going to be usable, and what I like about them is that I think you need a clean tone and you need a heavy tone. But once you have that, you can do a lot of writing and you can tweak it after the fact, and these are super usable right out of the box. That's, I think, my favorite thing about them. I do like the cabinet loader function, and yeah, they're easy to use and they sound great, so they get my seal of approval. So if you want to pick up these amps, I'll put a link in the description to Wave's site. It is a referral link, so I'll get a little kickback, but if you don't want to pick them up, hey, at least now you know what they sound like. So I hope you all have found this video useful. If you have, feel free to like or subscribe, and hey, take care of yourselves, everyone. Peace.